Your dive into the wild, weird, and wonderfully messy world of Reddit. This is the Joevelocity Show.
And welcome to the Joevelocity Show. I am Joe, and I never introduce myself. People think my name is Joevelocity, and it's not. It's Joe. And I'm here with Hubba. Hi, Hubba.
Hello.
So, doing this a little differently today. You're actually not here with me, but you're sitting in your nice, humble abode.
Well, thank you.
With the new roof.
Mm-hmm. Pay a lot of money for them. Got a good deal.
And speaking of leaks now, of course, yesterday I went to bed, and right before I went to bed, I went to the bathroom, and wouldn't you know it, there I had water in my bathroom, just not the water that I normally generate there, but like I had water on my counter, I had water on the windowsill, I had water on the floor, I had water on the shelf behind the toilet,
oh God,
or whatever it's called. Turns out the toilet above me, in the apartment above me, flooded, and it started dripping down the wall. So thankfully it didn't damage anything. I just had to wipe up all the water there, but it was just kind of annoying. It was just like, oh God.
Right.
And yeah, so.
It's always something, man.
Right.
It's always something. But like you said, thank God it didn't damage anything. But I know it was nerve-wracking to have to dry all that shit up. You know, just come on. You know, to dry all that water, and you know, thank God nothing got damaged.
Was your leak particularly bad whenever it happened?
It wasn't bad. It was just leaking in the corner.
Okay.
I only had it happen one time, you know, so I put the bucket there and I'm like, that's awkward. And that's when I, you know, went and looked into it and come to find out I had to get a new roof.
Oh God.
I didn't have to get a new roof. I could have got things patched because of the weather, the storm damage, like, you know, so I could have got that, but they were like, you're going to have to replace it within 1 to 3 years.
Yeah. So it was kind of like, I'll do it now or do it later, you know, so.
Do it now.
Right. Get it all done with there and have no money for the rest of the year. But it was
right. You know.
So anyways, I just want to let you know here, this episode, we're going to do Am I Overreacting, which is a little bit different than Am I the Asshole?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so these stories are a little bit different there, but they're kind of in the same vein.
Yeah.
Also, too, before I forget, I have to apologize to my mom because on the last show, we came back out of the commercial break and it's like, thank God I'm not doing these episodes with my mom. My mom took offense to that.
He didn't mean it like that at all.
I did not mean that at all.
Oh.
I love my mom.
He loves you, mommy, and I love you too.
But after having done 4 episodes with her there, it's kind of like one of those things there where basically whenever you're doing an episode with your mother, you have to watch your mouth. So, but, you know, so I can't be as quote unquote free as I want to be, like I can be with you.
Right.
And so in this case, then, yeah, that's really all I meant by that. So one other thing to mention there too is that I added a new thing onto the website, Joevelocityshow.com, that if you want to get an email every time a new episode is released, there's a mailing list you can sign up for on the main page. You just put in your first name, last name, and then your email address. And what will happen is that every time we release a new episode, it basically will send you an email, and we'll have like a link to the actual episode there that you can listen to on the website. Yeah. So,
right.
So it's a nice way to just be reminded there just in case you forget. So.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's go ahead here and let's get into the first story. Am I overreacting for secretly recording my boyfriend because I thought he was gaslighting me? I'm sorry?
Secretly recording him.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Well, anyways, there's a reason why. So the story goes, I, 26, female, started feeling like I was losing my mind around my boyfriend, who's 29 and male. I tell him things we agreed upon, plans, conversations, and even arguments, and he swear they never happened. It got to the point I started recording our conversations, nothing invasive, just when we talk about something important like bills or plans. Last week he tried to tell me I never asked him to pick up my sister from the airport, but I had the recording clear as day of him agreeing to it. When I played it, he freaked out, said I was violating his trust and acting paranoid. I told him I felt like I was being gaslit for months. He packed a bag and went to his brother's, telling our friends I spy on him. Everyone's telling me I'm unhinged and went too far. but I was genuinely starting to question my own memory before I started recording. Am I overreacting?
I'm caught in between this one. Like it's yeah, that's definitely invading his privacy, but at the same time, I could get her trying to prove her point.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say.
He's sitting up there making it like she just don't know what she be talking about. I don't like that neither. It's like maybe she need to leave him the hell alone. How about that? That's enough.
Well, let me give you a personal example there with my sordid dating life there. My most recent ex of 4 years would do that to me all the time. Basically we'd be talking about going ahead there and doing something, and then I would bring it up there and then be like, no, I never said that. Yes, you did. This went on for years. I never went as far as recording them, but in this case here, I could understand why she recorded him. And honestly, it's not a bad idea now that I think about it. But yeah, it's one of those situations there where, if she's proving that he gaslit her, then she has a point,
Right.
So I would think here that, I don't think she's the asshole at all. No. So I kind of disagree with you there,
No, I don't think she is at all. Like, I'm not saying, like, I get and understand someone's privacy. You know what I mean? Like, I get that. But this is supposed to be what? His girlfriend is?
Yeah, basically, it's from the girlfriend's perspective. She basically said there, hey, he's been gaslighting me. I think he's been gaslighting me, so I'm going to record him and catch him in the act of gaslighting me.
Yeah, and she caught him. And I mean, she really did have to do what she had to do. But the way he's kind of going about it and like making her out to be like this, like bad person for it, and like, oh, she's a spy. She's this.
Yeah.
That to me, that's overreacting.
It's like
that's
he's trying to blame her.
Overreacting.
So instead of being like, I'm gaslighting you, it's kind of like, oh, you recorded me. You're spying on me. Blah, 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 blah.
And it's like, bro, it's not that deep though. Like, that's your girl.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, come on now. Then you going around saying, oh, she a spy. And I think that's a little too much, because I kind of get where she's coming from. Like, it's just like, you keep gaslighting me. You keep, and like, I was even thinking like, maybe he has a forgetful memory.
Yeah. Well,
some people do,
There was one of the comments here that kind of really hit it on the head there. He used an offensive as a defensive tactic. It often works. She caught me cheating, stealing, lying, whatever. So I'll accuse you of being controlling or some other abuse to cancel out my offense in the redirect and project. I think that comment really hit it right on the head there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
So also too, another person said, pack up the rest of the things and have it waiting for him at the door. This man is gaslighting you. He's mad because he got caught. He's messing with your psyche and your peace. That's not okay.
Leave him the fuck alone.
So she went ahead and responded, I usually think people in comments are too quick to tell people to throw away their relationships, but in this situation, this is exactly the right advice. So, yeah. The last commenter said, it's also what long COVID looks like for a lot of people, just crushes their memory. I think they're being a little too kind there. I think it's just you being an asshole, And that's what it comes down to.
You feel some way. Oh, I'm dying. Y'all should see his face right now as he's looking like, no, he's just being an ass.
Yeah.
Like, it's in his face. He's feeling that.
Of course, this is coming from somebody who's never had COVID. I swear I'm the only person in the world who never had COVID, ever.
Wow. So, I had COVID once.
So you had COVID once. My parents had it. And I was around them a few days before it happened. So it was kind of surprising that I never actually got it. So, so I don't know what exactly happened, but I guess I got lucky, Yeah. That's all I have to say there. But watch me 2 months from now, during Christmas. Oh, I got COVID.
Right.
Everybody's like, huh? How'd you do that?
Right. No, see.
Anyways, let's go ahead here and we'll get on to the second story. Am I overreacting? Who needs enemies when you have family? My aunt harvested my garden and Mom let her do it. So there's a picture in that doc there. And
I see it.
And I'll actually put it on the website.
This is all her vegetables.
Yeah, this is all the vegetables here. So it kind of gives you an idea of what we're looking at here.
Mm-hmm.
I spent 6 months growing my garden, planting it, watering it, taking care of it, watching it grow. Something successful I built from and poured so much into that my mom helped me expand and plant it in the ground. And I come home today, and at the end of the growing season, to see it basically bagged up and wiped out. My drama-loving aunt, who I stay away from, is visiting from the city and decided to harvest about 75% of it without asking. And my mom just let her do it. Didn't stop her. Didn't text or warn me. Just let it happen. And probably encouraged it out of a mix of pity and a history of bad influence. Then my aunt has the nerve to brag to me that she took all of it and will give it to her neighbors, like it was hers to take. I'm beyond disappointed, but mostly I'm just done with this level of ignorance. I don't even care to say anything because I'm so shocked and annoyed at the lack of care for my feelings and my hard work. I won't waste my time teaching growing adults basic respect.
Her aunt is disrespectful. That was just like, come on now. You knew you was going to, you did that specifically to mess with her.
Piss her off. Yeah.
And I'm sorry, this described how messed up she really is to me.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? So no, absolutely not. That is your garden. That's something you worked hard on. Look at these vegetables. They look so good. And it's just like, wow.
Exactly.
Like you just took all her daggone fruits, 75% of it.
Yeah, like when you're looking here,
she's disrespectful.
There's basically like 3 gallon
ain't
bags
left her
of
no
veggies,
food. I'm sorry.
Ton of tomatoes and stuff like that. I mean, usually whenever people grow stuff in a garden, like my parents will grow stuff in a garden, they're constantly trying to pawn stuff off on me. Like, do you want a tomato? Do you want this? Do you want that? I'm like, sure, yeah, because I live in an apartment. I don't have a garden. You know, so it's basically a matter. I appreciate what they give me there, but I don't sit there and be like, you know, I want it all, and I want it now, you know, which just sounds like, you know, literally what her aunt did. Anyways, the comments were not kind towards the aunt.
Well, of course not. I didn't expect that.
Make it clear in an SMS or a text message that you let them know they had no permission to do it and get their response. File a police report for damage and theft. If you're extra petty, take them to the small claims court for restitution and be sure to value your labor time appropriately. The judge will decide what is fair. If they don't show up, you win by default. If they don't pay you, you can have their wages garnished or put a lien on their house. God. I mean, I'm not sure if I would do that over some vegetables there, but Jesus Christ, you know.
They're going too far.
Right. Another person said, I had no advice on helping you move past it. I just want you to get your stuff back. Wouldn't let her take it. That's just so fucked up. And I feel absolutely defeated for you. The produce is beautiful and looks like it took so much work. Then the last one, I kind of think really hit it on the head. Honestly, this kind of shit is what Judge Judy lives for. I would love to see this play out on Judy Justice.
Right.
Did you know with those shows that actually, basically the way that they work is that both people have to dismiss their case in regular court, and Judy or Judge Judy or Judy Justice or whatever the hell it is nowadays, she's actually an arbitrator. So actually what you're looking at is arbitration. And no matter who wins or loses, the show pays the cost. So these people aren't out anything there. So for example, if she makes a judgment for $5,000, which is the limit for like the plaintiff or the defendant, the show pays that. So they don't have to worry about that. You know?
Right.
And honestly, it's actually cheaper to produce than a lot of other shows, believe it or not, because of that fact. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah.
No, I did not know that.
People's Court was like that, Judy Justice, and all these court shows. So that's why they've been so popular on TV, is that because of the fact that they're not that expensive to produce, and that the actual show itself pays the cost of the court judgments. So
yeah, you figure you're just always in that damn, you know.
So they could be like, you know what? Yeah, we're running a little high in the budget there. Make the judgments smaller.
Right.
So yeah, it's absolutely amazing, you know, how fake reality TV is, you know?
Right. It is. It is.
So sorry to burst your bubble with that one there too.
No, you good.
But anyways, we're going to head in the break. But before that, I wanted to talk about something real quick. Most places online sell coffee. They sell caffeinated coffee, And that's the reason why most people drink coffee is because it's caffeinated. They want to boost. They want to pick me up. However, I can't drink caffeinated coffee. My cardiologist was like, nope, can't do it anymore. So I switched to decaf coffee, and everybody's like, well, why do you like decaf coffee? Well, I like the taste of coffee. And I know some people don't like the taste of coffee, like you, for example. I know you like iced coffee every once in a while. But, so basically now instead of treating it like a pick-me-up, I treat it like a dessert, I'll have like dinner and then I'll have a cup of coffee. So the problem is that with decaf coffee, it's hard to find in the stores. It's like you'll find all this caffeinated coffee, then you'll find like one package of decaf, and that will be it.
It'd be like somewhere where you can't even hardly see it.
Right? Exactly. Yeah. It'll be buried, because nobody wants decaf, apparently.
Selections. It just be like, come on now.
But basically, there's a new company called Savorista Coffee, and they offer premium craft decaf and half-calf blends with bold flavors. They ethically source their beans, and they're naturally decaffeinated because sometimes whenever they make decaf coffee, basically they take regular coffee and remove the caffeine from it. They use chemicals to do it there. But in this case, then they actually decaf their stuff with water and other natural stuff there. So, and they small batch roast it for exceptional taste. And guess what? You can save 25% off with my promo code Joevelocity at savorista.com. Yeah. So,
I'm going to give me some.
Exactly. Yeah. So that way, then it won't be like, oh my God, my boots, I'm shaking my boots. Anyways, we're going to go ahead here. We're going to take a break. And we'll be right back with more of the Joevelocity Show after this. And welcome back to the Joevelocity Show. So, anyways, so this is the first time you and I have done this with you being remote.
I know. Okay? Yeah, I'm comfortable.
Sitting in your gaming chair, I'm sitting in my office chair. Not that my apartment's uncomfortable. I mean, you have a nice chair to sit in whenever you're here. So, but I must say there is something with being in person and talking to people, and then also talking to people on Zoom. It's a little bit different. But with you and I, it doesn't seem like it's that much different,
Right? It's you know what I mean? It just comes natural with us. That's what's up. Like that chemistry, man. We just have that. That's what's up.
Yay, chemistry.
Chemistry. You gotta need that chemistry.
No homo.
You gotta need that chemistry.
Anyways, we're going to go ahead and get on with the third story here. Am I overreacting for calling off my wedding after finding out my fiance had a breakup box of his exes? I, 29 female, called off my wedding 3 weeks before the date, and everyone thinks I've lost it. My fiance, Liam, who's 30 male, had been together for 4 years, engaged for 1. Things were good until last month when I was packing up some of his old boxes to move into our new apartment. I found a small shoebox labeled breakups. Inside were photos, letters, little gifts, all from his exes. But what made me sick was that he had handwritten notes about each one of them. Things like, still the best life I've ever had, or if we met later, maybe it would have worked. He even had a dried flyer from one of his first dates. I confronted him. He said it was just a record of lessons learned. He said I shouldn't snoop, and then I was overreacting to nostalgia. I tried to move on, but I couldn't stop thinking about it. He was planning to marry me, but still keeping mementos of other women and documenting how they made him feel. So I told him I couldn't go through with the wedding until he got rid of the box. He refused, said it's a part of his history. So I called the whole thing off. Now my family's furious and says I threw away a good man over a box of memories. But I can't imagine building a life with someone who romanticizes his past like that. Am I overreacting? you're sitting there like, I'm giving you a hard story there, huh?
Yeah, because I don't I think she kinda is.
Yes.
I think she not kinda, she is, I think. I think she is overreacting because it's just like it's his lessons he learned, like from being able to like if I was this, if I could have been this, then maybe would have been better. But it didn't happen that way and life moves on. That's pretty I actually like that because he's learning his lessons from every ex he had. You know what I mean? Even learning things about himself or them. Like it's just like, come on. That
Right.
to me, I look at that as she should be proud of her man wanting to be a better man.
Exactly. It's not like, he's
And
talking to his exes all the time.
Nostalgia. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's not like he's talking to his exes all the time.
Yeah, he ain't talking to them broads.
Yeah. It's like, hey, we're going to go out, me and my ex,
He wanted a fond memory of them, which he got.
Yeah.
And that's healthy too, if you think about it. It's pretty healthy. It's not like he's out for revenge or talking down about them or, you know what I mean? Because, I didn't get that from this story that he was talking down about him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that's healthy. I like him. And then she did throw away a good man. You dumb broad. That was stupid.
The comments agreed with you and I 100% completely. You are overreacting. I have mementos of past relationships, and I am happily married. It's a shoebox, not a plaque on the mantle. Absolutely unhinged. His past is what made him into the person he is today. It's part of his life story. He wasn't spawned as a video game character on the day that you met.
I mean, come on.
I would not be surprised. In several years' time, you look back upon your decision and come to regret it. Real relationships require work and compromise. Are you well within your rights to dump him for not agreeing to your ultimatum or compromising on the issue? Yes. Mm-hmm. When you get older and have to ask and make bigger compromises to make a marriage work better, will you look back at this and see it as a relatively small hill to die on? Probably also yes. And then the final one, I think, really hit it on the head. Did he have fingernail clippings in there? Locks over their hair? It was just keepsakes. You're crazy. He's lucky to be rid of you.
Yeah, no, real shit.
All right.
Bad girl. Like I didn't. It's just like that was someone who I respect for that because it's just like he got to put his foot down on something. It's just like I feel like I don't know. She's petty. You called off a wedding with a good man over a shoebox, bitch. You know
right. And it probably was a case there where the parents were paying for part of the wedding or something like that there. So she threw away thousands and thousands of dollars, over something stupid.
Wait a minute, though. She kind of seemed like she's actually happy to not be married to him now. The way she sounds. So maybe they just weren't meant to be in the first place.
There's another thing to be said about that, though. It's kind of like, you know what? If this was the biggest issue that they've dealt with after years, was it worth breaking up the relationship over? Was it worth throwing away all that time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
it's just like this.
And that's, I think, one of the commenters actually said there is kind of like, you're look back on this and be like, you're probably going to regret it,
Well, yeah, because you're going to see that man moving on with his life and still becoming a better man.
Yeah. And you're going to be left there with, I broke up with him because, he wouldn't do this or that there, So, anyways.
And I hope he writes on there for her. Writes on there for her.
Could've
and say,
better.
Look, she was a bitch. She was say no, I quit.
Bitch.
She was a bitch.
Boy, that's like your favorite word, huh? I should just.
He's probably going to write very nice things about her, but then at the same time, be like, I was not willing to let that go.
Psycho.
And I hope he does not make that. I hope he does make this as a lesson as, hold on to what you feel is right.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and that was a way of that man growing. It's just like that was his past, his little nostalgia that he wanted to keep.
Or just hide the box better next time. I don't know.
No, to me, he shouldn't even had to do that to me. Like, this was gonna be his wife. So, but like, I do look at that a little bit like, bro, you could have simply just been like, look, I got this. You know what I mean? I'm marrying you. So, you know what I mean? But at the same time, you know, but at the same time, when she found, I think it was just her finding it that made her trip out more than anything.
The fact that she didn't know about it beforehand, it was kind of like, you know, she was a little weirded out by it there, but in this case here, then, I think she could have reacted a little better to it there once she was told what it was, you know, so. But anywho, believe it or not, we've come up to the last story of the show. No conclusion. I don't know why I give myself the longest stories to read, but anyways, here goes.
You do it all the time.
Last episode, oh my God, that story was so long.
Oh, goodness.
It was funny as hell.
This ain't as long, bro. This ain't as long.
Thank God. Anyways, hello, it's been a long time since I posted on Reddit, so it's be kind of shaky. I, 25 female, lost my best friend, 25 female, of 7 years just a few months ago. She blocked me on every form of social media and cut all contact and ties with me. I know why. I know what happened between the two of us, and will give a long explanation for context. She was like my sister, someone I could rely on for anything, and she could rely on me for anything. We spent multiple days a week together and texted every single day. We told each other secrets and feelings no one knew. One thing we did often together was drink. I have since become sober because it had definitely gone out of hand quite a few times. We had planned one night to drink a lot and play video games and just hang out. That night, her and I ended up sleeping together. She's a straight woman and was waiting to save her first time for someone special. I've had my first time, but it was an experience that wasn't consensual. The next morning, she initiated the same interactions again before driving home so I could go to work that day. Everything was fuzzy for me and hazy, and I was definitely still drunk that morning. However, I left thinking everything was consensual, considering her initiation the next morning, as well as her joking with me the entire time as well. I remember very little about the night, but I chalked it up to us being too drunk to function. What I do remember from that night is little to nothing. I remember explicitly asking for her consent, and to her consenting and telling me she trusts me. Her begging to touch me and do certain things to me, me vomiting multiple times throughout the night, and her being on top of me for most of it. It was not something that was planned between the two of us.
Oh my God.
I ended up texting her to let her know that I was sorry for the night and that she wanted her first time to be special. There was also clarification that I felt that we were both too drunk to consent to what the situation was. She ended up asking me for space, but clarified she wanted to continue to be best friends and that she still loves me. I will say, admittedly, I did freak out. I was so scared that she was going to leave me indefinitely or decide she didn't want to be friends anymore. It was not the right reaction, and it wasn't a healthy reaction, and I know that. She came to visit me at work and had me sleep over at her house because of my own safety. I didn't ask her to do these things, nor did I try to pressure her. However, whenever she had me stay at her place, she did try to speak with me about that night. She told me that she had pushed me off of her multiple times and that I had initiated the entire night. There were also implications that I had physically harmed her and had pressured her into it. I was extremely confused, but more than that, I was extremely upset. Immediately, I was profusely apologizing and saying that I would leave her and let her be if she wanted to stay, that I would sleep in the living room, and so I was completely away from her. She begged me to stay, begged me to sleep in the same bed with her. I was confused by it all. I was confused why she wanted me to be near her. I was confused why what I remembered and what she said wasn't adding up, etc. I didn't voice any of that. I just let her speak and apologized. We talked about therapy, and I tried to offer to go to therapy together as well as separately, but she refused. She wanted to go on her own. I respected that. She also told me she had told her mom about the entire situation and that I wouldn't be able to attend any of her pageants that she does or anything that her mom would be attending as well. I asked her if she had told her old roommates. She said no. We once lived together with 3 other people, but it fell apart after they bullied me out of the house after I spoke up about my mental health. They continually talked bad about me to my best friend and our mutual friends. They'd also continuously make playlists about how I was their villain origin story and that I should die. She continued to stay friends with them. Yeah, I know. This is getting quite complicated here.
Oh, my gosh.
She clarified later that she did want to try to continue to be friends, that we would just hang out less in the space we took and talk less. Slowly, it just all fell apart. I tried my hardest to keep her updated on me going to therapy and getting on stronger meds for my mental health. I texted her less, asked to see her less, tried to follow every boundary she set or asked for. Every time we did see each other, it was tense. It was uncomfortable. It was obvious she didn't want to even be around me and it just hurt even more. I apologized over and over. I tried everything to be better and do better. I didn't even speak my own mind about what I remembered and how I was hurt by the situation or how uncomfortable and disgusting I felt. I didn't want us to have that night together either. It all finally accumulated in me telling her how tense it felt, but how I wanted us to try and find a middle ground that felt comfortable. She didn't respond to me for days until she sent me one long text about how she loves me, one day wants to see me again. She immediately blocked me after sending it. It broke me. It felt awful that she didn't tell me in person. That is all I kept thinking. Fast forward to now, 4 months later, it still stings, still hurts more than I could say. She posts with our old roommates now constantly calling them their best friends. It feels like a knife to the gut every time I see it. All I think are all the nights she would talk shit about them and how she thinks they're ugly or awful people or how their family hates them. I just want to move on and feel better and not feel like I'm falling apart every time she posts something like that. She also continues to post about being sexually assaulted. How do I move on from this and feel comfortable letting people in again? Am I overreacting in the situation? Was I the bad guy? You're looking at me like, this is quite the story.
They had one night
Yeah.
where they both was drunk, intoxicated, didn't even know what was going on. And they did something and I'm trying to understand this because
it's one of those cases there where kind of like people will be like, well, I'm not going to sleep with you there because probably it may ruin the friendship,
Right.
But in this case here, then it was kind of like, I think that they, her roommate had feelings for her, with how conflicted.
I think she had feelings for her and she couldn't handle it and she'd rather be away from her than to deal with it.
Right. Yeah. So,
and I don't like the simple fact she's going around saying she was sexually harassed. Yeah. I'm starting to feel like she was the aggressor, really. Like the way that story went, she was like, I just don't remember anything. I feel like, I'm like, did she get,
I feel like there's some gaslighting going on here,
I feel like she's
trying to change it so she's not the villain in the story.
Well, we know that, but
yeah.
I'm starting to think, like, I'm thinking a little deeper in this. Can I go to just a little deeper in this?
Go right ahead.
Like, I do wonder if she was drugged.
By the other person?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good
I could be wrong. I mean, you know what I mean? I'm just thinking that she's like, I just don't remember anything. And
yeah.
Then what's her name is bringing up the story. And she seems to almost remember every goddamn thing.
But in a completely different way than the other person remembers it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. It's a
see what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, or she knew she was a little more, I wouldn't even say she probably was drugged. Maybe she just knew she was even a little more intoxicated than she was.
Yeah.
But
the fact that she was throwing up throughout the night is a good sign that she was pretty intoxicated,
Yeah. Yeah, I think she, I don't know. I just feel like this situation is crazy. This is a crazy situation.
Right. But, yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where I think, personally, I think they should spend some time apart. Then maybe later on there, start talking again, because
I would say leave her the fuck alone. Stay away from her because I this is where I'm coming from. Stay away from her because I feel like she's a gaslighter.
Yeah.
And the way she went about that whole situation just gave off to me more guilty than innocent. Because now she's going off. Oh, I was sex. I'm not trying to. I don't know. I don't want to put down anybody for his.
Well,
essay at all ever.
One of the comments there actually kind of hit it on the head there a little bit, and kind of. I mean, and she actually responded to that comment there. The commenter said she may be ashamed that she's bi.
Mm-hmm.
And then the poster of that responded back. I've had quite a few people say the same thing. There's been a few points when we were drinking that made me think that. One time she had said that we were married and had a baby in every lifetime together, or that she would be with me. This time I didn't like men more than women. I'm queer, but I lean more towards liking men. So I think basically she's conflicted. Something finally did happen there. She felt guilty about it there. She then started gaslighting her into thinking that, you're the one who abused me, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And it just became a big mess there. And basically she washed her hands of it there.
Yeah.
Because she felt guilty,
Yeah.
And left her friends in even worse mental state that she possibly could have,
But it's just like, even with just, I don't know, just the way she went about that whole situation, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Because I felt she was just making her out to be the bad person, but then wanting her to be close and shit. It was that there. You know what I mean? It was that there. You're putting her down, but you don't want her to leave.
Right. Yeah. So
what's that about?
It's very conflicted. At least she's.
If that happened to you, you would never want to be around that person, right?
Yeah. And yeah, it's just a complete mess of a situation there. And I think, I don't think drinking helps matters out at all. And that's why you shouldn't drink.
Mm-hmm. It's not even just you shouldn't drink. You should enjoy yourself, but just be responsible.
At least, or at least learn how to drink responsibly,
And if you're going to have a crazy night like that, just please make sure you just be careful. Please.
Right.
You don't know what you're going to get yourself into.
Right.
So
otherwise that might. But anyways, yeah. So we could go on all day about this story, but
yeah, this story was wild as hell. I'm just like, man. Oh, Lord.
Right. But anyways, thanks once again for checking out the Joevelocity Show. Make sure to subscribe to the show in your favorite podcast app to listen on demand so you don't miss an episode. And for access to all of our websites, visit us at joevelocity.com. Thanks for listening and have a good one.